Hi everyone, how is everyone doing tonight? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm looking at your chats here on my phone on the side. I'm on Google Chat and unfortunately I can't see your messages on Google Hangout or Google Chat, but I hope you guys are doing well tonight. Let's talk about Venus going direct in Libra today. Mercury going retrograde tomorrow, which is Saturday, November 17th, early in the morning, around 1 a.m. And also, let's do a psychic reading on Marilyn Monroe. I've been feeling Marilyn Monroe vibes lately, so I want to do a reading on her lately and maybe anyone else who comes to mind. So I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys are enjoying your Friday. Hi, Dina. Hi, Christine. How's everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk about Venus going direct today, which means good things for our money. Our money should be easing up, getting a lot better moving forward because Venus does rule, money. It rules relationships, all right? So our relationships should be getting better, specifically with ourselves, all right? I'm going to have to pull it back up on my phone. I'm looking at your messages on my phone, by the way. So, hi, Monique. Hi, Not For You. Hey, Q. How's everyone doing? I'm doing well. It's just another day. Yes, it's 11/11. Everyone make a wish. Okay, I made mine. So I know it's late. It is what it is. All right. You're doing good. That's good, Monique. What's everyone up to tonight? What did you guys do today? What did you do after work? I remember the astrology of yesterday, the video that we did yesterday. I was saying how, it's kind of going to be a little bit of a boring weekend, at least, today, and at the start of Saturday, but by Saturday, Saturday night specifically, we're going to kind of want to break out of this boredom in some way. Whether that means when you want to be social or, that means that we just kind of want to do something productive or be creative, because we do have a lot of Pisces energy going on this weekend as well. So, it's 9/11 where you are. Been a rough day, actually, but no complaining. It's always worse elsewhere. Exactly, not for you to know. Hey, Tawanda. Yes. So let's just go ahead and pull a card. I'm assuming more people will come later, but let's just get the show on the road now. So, how's everyone doing? Let's pull a card for everyone in the room. So what messages do the angels, the ancestors, have for us tonight, November 16th, 2018? What messages do the angels, the ancestors, and protectors have for us tonight? Went out with friends tonight and had to end it. Bad vibes. Yeah, there's some weird energy going on today. We have Mercury going retrograde early in the morning, 1 a.m. Okay, so wherever you are, whatever time, 1 a.m. will be in 3 hours for me. So Mercury goes retrograde in 3 hours, you guys. So the energies are getting even more potent as we get closer. Hey, Reflections. Oh, is that, I forgot what your name is. I'm sorry, but it starts with an L, right? I remember you get a lot of readings, and I remember your name. That's gonna fall. Yes, I felt it. Yes. Hey, SR. Hey, Lottie Love. I'm about to grab some food and take my ass back home. Yes, Q. So I pulled a card for the room, and this is the card that I pulled. It says, my relationships are supposed to feel good. And I think this is an appropriate card for today. A lot of us seems to be dealing with, weird relationship energy today. So this card reads on the back, your life is supposed to feel good to you. Before your birth, you knew that the primary component of your physical experience that would offer the greatest value for your personal and collective expansion and joy would be the relationships that you would experience with each other. Sorry. It was your plan to relish the diversity of your relationships and to choose from them the details that would make up your creations, and here you are. So So we made a contract with the relationships that we're currently in. All right. And that's often, where the phrase soulmates come from, twin flames. These are relationships that we made contracts, with, in either past life, the spiritual life, and we've come here to learn the lessons. So this is actually a really, really good topic for today, about lessons, because with Mercury going retrograde, we are reviewing the lessons, lessons that are holding us back in terms of our growth, our spiritual growth, our growth in terms of expansion, our growth in terms of learning, all right, because Jupiter does rule learning as well. So pain in chest, shoulder blades, and collarbone, but I'm Leo sun, so heart is definitely a health ailment. Maybe just need to heal my heart. Yes. Healing is very, very important at this time. And maybe, it's been a tough day, all right? Like, I don't know about you guys, but the power has been going like on and off in my building. Like this retrograde energy is like intense. Luckily, it's on, and I'm prayerful that it'll be on for a while. Tawanda, still like adult pain. I'm too young to be sick. Yes. So let's go ahead and get into Venus going direct today. Did you guys know that Venus went direct today? Venus is currently direct after being in retrograde in Scorpio, all right, and then being retrograde in Libra. So now it's currently direct in Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. Libra also rules the 7th house, which the 7th house is what? What does the 7th house rule, you guys? Why do you have Marilyn Monroe in the title? Because I'm going to do a reading on Marilyn Monroe later. I don't know. I was watching a documentary on her earlier, and I was just being pulled towards her energy, or her energy was pulling to her. I think her energy was pulling my energy. So I want to see what Marilyn has to say. Hi, Eddie. How are you? What's your Venus again, Lamarr? My Venus is in Scorpio, so the worst is behind me now. And my moon's in Libra, so I'm loving this Venus and Libra energy. Exactly, Eddie. 7th house rules one-on-one relationships. It rules our business partnerships, okay? So you are absolutely right. It does rule relationships, yes. Yes, 7th house is friendships and connections. So connections could be getting a lot stronger at this time, a lot more solid. There could be definitely a lot more peace and harmony, because remember, Libra rules peace and harmony as well. So, yes. Venus in Scorpio is sexy baby. Yes, Adrian, I know. Lottie, wanted to tell you that I love you, and I might not be able to watch your videos when you are live, but I watch them when I can. Thank you so much, Lottie. I really appreciate that. Your Venus is in Gemini. So this is a really good time for air signs. Libra's an air sign, so Libra loves being social. It loves connection, especially a mental connection. Libra loves conversation. So, it's a good time for this energy. With the Libra or Venus finally being direct, it's a really good time to, for relationships. If you're single, get out there, flirt a little, honey. Nice rose you got there, Lamarr. Nice flower. Thank you. It's actually a fake flower, obviously, but I actually really like it. I got it from Target when it was like Halloween. That's a good thing, Lamarr. I was trying to connect, Lamarr. Trying to connect to what? By the way, for those of you who are just joining, I am doing live psychic readings. So if you want a live reading, I am doing live astrology readings as well as live psychic tarot readings. So $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is 2 questions, $30 is 3 questions, so on and so forth. I prefer PayPal, but you can send a super chat. The PayPal link is in the description box as well as in the chat box. If you want a personal reading, which is much more in depth and personal, obviously. It's not live. You can check out my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. I do astrology readings as well as psychic tarot readings as well. And I plan to do classes. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do it. Does anyone have any ideas actually while we're here? Because you guys are really good with ideas. By the way, people, I don't know where Siobhan is and all the other girls, but I guess who I got to see. Guess who sent me a picture? Christine. Yes, Lamarr, I done got into it with 2 people already. That's Mercury and Sag, very spontaneous, very feisty. You know, a lot of us can be on edge at this time. Yes, I got to see Nick. So he has a beard. He has long hair. And he looks like a white boy. You know, like I expected him to have a little bit more flavor, but he was cute. He was very attractive, blue eyes. Definitely free spirited. So I hope Nick gets to show you guys. He said I could show him online, but I don't feel comfortable spilling his tea like that. I want Nick to spill his own tea. Yes. Doesn't matter where you purchase an evil eye bracelet. It can. I don't, it depends. I'm sure the energy of the space you buy it from, can somehow be, encapsulated into the bracelet. So you want to make sure you buy a bracelet from a good energy place. Lamarr, you should do a tour to different cities for your tarot class. That would be fun. I want to see Nick. Where are you? Yes. Yeah, Nick sent me pictures of himself. Was it a love energy connection? No, Nick is straight, or so he says. So we're going to leave that, alone. But he is single, so I believe. I wanted you to know the last read I got was more accurate than I ever knew till the next day after I was out of school. I was almost in disbelief. Oh, wow, not for you to know, really? So what's your question now? By the way, not for you to know, thank you for the $5 donation. I live in the East Coast, Lottie. Towanda, my mom's so-called friend took her evil eye pendant and the chick got sick. Yeah, you gotta be careful stealing people's stuff. That's not cool. The energy of that person, everything is energy. Everything has energy. There's energy in here. There's energy in this coffee. There's energy in these cards. There's energy, everything is energy, right? So... Ooh, Q was like, I was going to ask if he sent nudes. He did not send nudes. Unfortunately, he didn't send nudes. She should have known better, but I think she's a klepto. Yeah, that's bad juju. All right, you guys, let's just get into the astrology for today. What's going on today? Venus did go direct, so I'm going to share my screen. Now, for you to know, I'm going to do your question in a second, okay? But this is the astrology for today. No particular place, somewhere in the West, apparently. Yeah, oh, well, okay, never mind. But no particular place selected, but it is 11:23 p.m., so we're going off the time right now. And as you can see, we have Mercury, not quite retrograde yet, but, Mercury in Sagittarius in the 6th house, which the 6th house rules work health. All right. Self-improvement as well. So I don't know about you guys, but a lot of us, with, this Mercury retrograde cusp that we're in right now, could be, have weird cravings at this time. Like for some reason, I'm craving pizza and someone put this pizza, like, how sometimes people put advertisements on your door and someone put like a pizza one on my door. I was like, I kind of want pizza. But, I don't know how I'm feeling about that. I kind of want to eat healthier. So this is definitely Mercury and Sag, almost going into retrograde in the 6th house energy, okay? Like I was saying yesterday, a lot of us, when it comes to our work, actually, we need a break. Like a lot of us are wanting a break, a mental health, break away from work and responsibilities. We just want to have fun with Mercury going in retrograde. But maybe with Mercury going in retrograde, early in the morning or, in 3 hours, we don't necessarily know how to have the fun that we're seeking. By the way, thank you. Thank you for the $10 donation, Christine. I want pizza now. Exactly, Eddie. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're easily kind of influenced at this time with Mercury retrograde and Sag. Especially when it comes to our thoughts, because, Mercury does rule, thoughts, how we form our thoughts, communication, those sorts of things. All right. So like I was saying, you know, with Jupiter, we could be having weird cravings. Like some people could be having like weird cravings for things they've never tasted before, you know, like that's kind of Jupiter energy, you know, expansion. So a lot of us also will be looking at how you know, how we're limiting ourselves. All right. Now it's interesting because I was having a conversation with a friend earlier about this Mercury retrograde energy, this Venus direct energy, and karma, and how karma seems to be playing a big effect, you know, lately. I don't know about you guys. Good karma and bad karma. All right. Now, Saturn is associated mainly with karma, and as you can see, we have Saturn here in Capricorn in the seventh house. Ironically, the seventh house does rule relationships. All right. It rules friendships, business partnerships, so on and so forth. So this is actually a great place for Saturn to be right now. On some level, the seventh house also rules money, but more so money, you know, between you and other people, right? But with Mercury going in retrograde, you know, a lot of us are looking at our money and things, and you know, we're wanting more piece of the pie. We're wanting more control, I should say, over the piece of the pie. You know, we're looking at where we don't have control, where we're under the control of other people, specifically under the control, you know, in terms of influence, people influencing our lives, institutions influencing our lives as well, because Jupiter does rule institutions, you know, and it rules order, you know, on some level. It rules our personal philosophies as well, and those types of things. So a lot of us with Mercury going in retrograde are going to be, you know, reflecting, you know, and reevaluating things. Does it affect mental health negatively? Does what affect mental health negatively? Mercury retrograde and Sag? It can. You know, we can see people going a little bit, you know, we can see people going off the radar, you know, during Mercury retrograde. You know, Mercury retrograde and Sag can see people just kind of, you know, going off the radar to like protect their mental health, you know, and but we definitely may see people kind of, you know, I don't want to say go off the deep end, you know, but you know, grounding yourself can be really, really important at this time because you know it's just a lot of energy all over the place. I love cooking. I love to cook you pizza. Yes, pizza sounds amazing. So we still have all this energy, Vertex in Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio, fourth Jupiter in Sag, and Mercury in Sag in the sixth house right now. So this is work and health. This is why a lot of us are wanting to decompress. This is why a lot of us are just feeling right now like, what the heck is going on? Why do I feel the way I feel? Why do I feel like I need a vacation right now? Why do I feel like I need a whole life transformation? Like, why do I just feel so many feelings right now? This is all sixth house energy. Remember, the sixth house is about self-improvement. So we're all like, self-improvement is really, really big right now, big energy that we're focusing on. But self-improvement in terms of like, you know, like a transformation with the Scorpio energy, but also, you know, expansion with the Sag energy. We have Venus direct in Libra. Yes, Venus direct means good things for our money, our relationships, the relationships with ourselves. The energy was strong tonight. It really, really was. Like it was. I had to stay in and close my blinds, you know, because I just wanted to mind my business today and not get caught up. Yes, Shayna. What's the best way to ground yourself? Eating good food, you know, right now, you know, simple things is eating good food, staying prayed up, meditating, listening to positive music. You know, just reading can also be very grounding, you know, but of course, reading something that grounds you, all right? So whatever makes you peaceful and happy and makes you feel content and centered, as long as it's something healthy, because remember, we do have a lot of Pisces energy. We have Neptune in Pisces and Moon in Pisces right now, as well as Mars in Pisces. So remember, Neptune, which rules Pisces, is about escapism. So a lot of us, while remember, we all want these kind of self-improvements. We want these improvements in our lives right now. But with Mercury going in retrograde and things kind of at a standstill right now energetically, this moon in Pisces energy especially, but also this Mars in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces, because remember, Mars in Pisces is like, Mars wants to go get it. Mars wants to, you know, Mars isn't really afraid. Mars doesn't really second guess. Mars just, you know, goes out there and does what it does and deals with the consequences later. But with it being in Pisces, that's kind of second guessing energy. That's unsure, you know, should I do it? Should I not do it? You know, so a lot of us are going to want to escape in some way, whether that means, you know, escaping and drinking, you know, something else, you know, escaping in some, you know, trashy TV, you know, some, you know, processed foods or some junk food, something like that. You know, a lot of us are looking to escape, especially tonight, like moving into Mercury retrograde energy in a few hours. Remember, Mercury goes retrograde in 3 hours. So let's move 3 hours to the, actually, no, let's just kind of keep talking about this. We have Lilith in Aquarius in the 9th house right now. Uranus is, you know, kind of going to stay in Aries for a minute. North Node is definitely going to stay in Cancer for a while. But okay, yeah, let's move to the 17th. But let's look at 1 a.m. Or let's look at 12, because it's going to be 12 here in 30 minutes exactly. So let's look at 12 a.m. Oh, in an hour. This is an hour. Mercury's still not retrograde, you know, so, you know, very, very interesting. Vertex and Libra are now in the 5th house. All right, so it's moving this way, which means Mercury will soon be in the 5th house, all right, of self-expression. Or actually, no, with it being in retrograde, it'll be retrograde in the 7th house, I'm sorry, which is one-on-one relationships. So that's why I was saying, I think on the video yesterday, I was saying, like, we're going to want to expand our relationships, but we're not going to know how necessarily because Mercury will be in retrograde. Hey, Nathaniel. I want to do the same, Monique. Yes. Yes. The lab is my escapes. Oh, yes. You're welcome, Dina. So, yes. So now let's go an hour ahead and let's look at 1 a.m. Mercury's still not in retrograde. I'm sorry. So it's not an hour, or it's not 3 hours. It'll be 4 hours. But it's in the 6th house, making its way to the 5th house. Now let's do 2 a.m. Mercury's finally in retrograde. Actually, let me go back and look at 1 a.m. because sometimes it's like the little R is blocked by the thing right there. But no, it's not retrograde. So it looks like Mercury goes retrograde in 11, 12, 1, 2. 2.5 hours, Mercury goes retrograde. So it's 11:30 right now where I am, 11:30 Eastern time. Mercury goes retrograde in 3 hours, officially. Is it true that virgins fall in love easily? I'm not sure. I'm not a virgin. Yes, Christine. Hi, Crystal. So it looks like we have Mercury going in retrograde in the 5th house, which I was right the first time, which is self-expression. So remember I was saying this weekend, watch your tempers, you guys. Try to think before you speak, because with Mercury going in retrograde in Sagittarius, a lot of us can have a tendency to be very blunt. We can be very irritated easily. You may find yourselves in long lines on Saturday, because remember, Saturday's the day where a lot of people like to shop and stuff and do their errands. You may have to deal with some sort of traffic, but you may see like people's true colors, or, you know, different sides of people on Saturday with Mercury going in retrograde in the 5th house. Now, remember, we were also talking about children. All right, children can be acting up at this time as well, you know, because the 5th house is children. You know, especially, you know, our relationships with children. So for those of you who have children, keep in mind, you know, Mercury's in retrograde. If your child acts up, or if your child says something blunt, you know, is very kind of insensitive in some way, make sure you're not being too insensitive with your children as well. Yes, Eddie. Hey, Lamarr sent a PayPal donation with a note. Thank you, Q. Thank you, Q, for the $6 donation. I'm going to answer everyone's question after I do this, this astrology. We talk about this astrology. Yes, the 5th house is Leo. Yes, Tawanda. I've been holding on to my words. I want to, if I'm going to have a word bomb, exactly. When we said 7th, I meant Virgo. My 7th house is in Leo. Oh, okay. 5th house in Pisces. Yes. So, now influencing this 5th house energy with this Mercury retrograde, we also have the vertex in Sagittarius. All right, so this is fated events. So a lot of us could be dealing with the fated events, and specifically fated events in which we need to learn a lesson. All right, because this Mercury retrograde seems to be about lessons, karma, you know, figuring out what is blocking us from reaching our true potential, all right, at this time with Mercury retrograde. And this is mental blockages. Like, what are our thoughts that are blocking us from reaching our true potential? You know, what are our beliefs, our core beliefs? Because remember, Jupiter is our, you know, our belief system that we live by, our morals, our philosophy. What's your life philosophy? What's your life story you've been telling yourself at this time? Is it a good one? You know, have you been telling yourself you need this certain person in your life? Have you been telling yourself that you need to express yourself this certain way? Are you becoming more open to new things? This is Mercury, Sag, and retrograde energy. Now, we also have Jupiter in Sagittarius, Sun in Scorpio, all in the 5th house. All right, so self-expression is going to be on fire in the morning in a few hours, okay? It's interesting because I think a lot of us may be, you know, up for a while. A lot of people may be pulling all-nighters at this time as Mercury goes retrograde in a few hours. But the energy should ease up later in the day, hopefully. Let's see. Let's move to 8 hours ahead, 10 a.m. So this is 10 a.m. Eastern time, wherever you are. Really, Marilyn, it's crazy. I love you. Yes, we're doing a reading on Marilyn Monroe later. My child is always blunt. I just give him looks to let him know how I feel. Yes. Oh, goodness. I've been at my what's end with my kids lately. And now it makes sense. It's not from them, but a little bit them. Yes. Make sure you guys like the video as you guys come in. I just actually realized you guys can't even see my likes on the video. So I guess it doesn't matter, but still like it. Yes, Mercury goes direct next week, but we do have Venus direct right now, so that I think that's going to offset the energy a bit. Speaking of Venus, this is 10 a.m., so this is, you know, 10 a.m. Eastern time. This is the chart for 10 a.m. tomorrow, or aka Saturday the 17th, or yeah, the 17th. So we have, by 10 a.m., we have Mercury retrograde in the 2nd house, okay, which the 2nd house, so, you know, by 10 a.m., Mercury will move from the 5th house to the 2nd house, all right? The 2nd house was our money and our finances, all right? So maybe not the best time or the best day to drop stacks, even though you may be tempted to, especially with Jupiter also being in the 2nd house, Jupiter and Sag. You're going to tell yourself you have it, and you may have it, you know, but, you know, is it really the best time to make that purchase? You know, so be careful when it comes to money matters, because remember, you also have Moon in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces in the 5th house as well. So with Moon in Pisces, you know, in the 5th house, you know, you may see something that speaks to you and, you know, that, you know, you feel expresses you in the moment. But remember, when Mercury goes direct, you may look at it and be like, okay, that wasn't the best purchase, you know. You know, it's just spontaneity. Remember, Sagittarius is a fire sign, so it's spontaneous. Spontaneous thinking, spontaneous thought, you know, spontaneous action. Even though with Mars here, remember, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter as well, so yeah. So we also have Mars in Pisces and Lilith in Aquarius in the 4th house. Libra here, direct in the 12th house. All right. So Venus is also our money. Venus in Libra. All right. In the 12th house. So that's Neptune energy. Let's just move to 8 p.m. So this is 8 p.m. November 17th Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time. And we see Mercury moving into, by this time, Mercury is now in the 8th house. So Mercury will be making its way through the houses tomorrow in retrograde. So we're going to be feeling all types of feelings, especially with the Moon in Pisces slowly making its way through the houses. By nighttime, it's in the 12th house. It's home placement, all right? So a lot of us are going to be feeling restless energy. A lot of us are going to be wanting to be creative this weekend, all right? I was saying it's a good weekend to be creative. In yesterday's live stream. All right, so this is Venus direct, Mercury and Sag energy. You know, not the best time to make big money purchases, as I was saying, even though you're going to want to, especially with Venus going direct. You may find yourself making money this weekend that you didn't expect to make. You know, like Venus direct, Jupiter direct, and Sag is also, you know, it's really good energy. You know, it's positive energy. us feeling better about, the future, feeling better about our relationships. So me and my friend were recollecting, sharing memories, traumas of our childhoods today, and left us both in a funk. Both of us aren't really the type to talk about our past, but shared past pains. Moon is in Pisces, so some of us could be feeling very emotional and sensitive at this time, feeling very open, emotionally. Now, Uranus also rules our private affairs, or Neptune, rules our private affairs. So, with the moon in Pisces, especially with it being in the 12th house, we're going to want to be really private. How is everyone on this lovely morning night? I'm doing well. But there's going to be something about us wanting to bring people into our privacy. Like a lot of us may be wanting cuddle buddies if we're single at this time. Especially with the weather kind of, I don't know about you guys, but the weather's been kind of like bipolar where I am. The energy lately has been so off for me. Yes. I think it's been off for everyone. So that's today and tomorrow's energies. And if you want to know the rest of the week, I did a live yesterday called The Astrology for Today and Beyond, where I read yesterday's astrologies, today's astrology of the planets, tomorrow's astrology of the planets, and Sunday's astrology of the planets. And we'll eventually do Monday, probably the next week as well, just in one video. Yes. Definitely been off for me as well. Yes, Bree, I'm going to lay low this weekend. I think I am too, if no one makes a move, if no one, makes a move towards me to hang out, then I think I'm just going to, keep to myself, mind my business, pay my bills, make my money, do my readings, do my astrology, and, just do that, But I definitely, I want to focus on expanding this weekend. I want to focus on business. I want to focus on how I'm going to do my astrology classes and my tarot classes. So I want to make productive use of this weekend. Remember, it's a good time to be productive. Hey, Ty. So, let's talk about karma, you guys. Let's talk about lessons and karma for the zodiac signs. All right, at this time. And now I was talking about how right now a lot of us could be dealing with lessons and specifically what thoughts, what emotion, or specifically thoughts, beliefs are holding us back. So with Pisces, if you have Mercury in Pisces, the focus could be on what are your spiritual beliefs? Because remember, Neptune is spirituality. It's also with Pisces, what is the difference between your private life and the life that you show? Is there a disconnect? How comfortable are you sharing, your private affairs with Pisces? Now it's interesting because sometimes our private affairs can be our hobbies, right? With Pisces, it can be our creativity. But with Jupiter, and Mercury, Sagittarius energy, it's about sharing that, that which you make, sharing your thoughts in this case, sharing your beliefs, right? So with Pisces, it's about kind of coming out of their shell. Where am I holding myself back in terms of coming out of my shell and expressing myself the way I want? Your Mercury's in Scorpio. With Mercury in Cancer, all right, it's where am I relying too much on other people and not enough on myself? All right. Where am I not believing in myself enough versus other people believing in me? Do I need other people to believe in me, or is it just me enough that I need to believe in myself enough? With Mercury in Cancer. Mercury in Scorpio. All right, let's talk about Mercury in Scorpio and with Mercury's in retrograde. Mercury in Scorpio is about control. And in this case as well, Mercury in Aries is also about control. Now with Mercury in Scorpio, it's about how do I say this? Also with Mercury in Scorpio, it's about transformation. And where are you not allowing growth? Where are you not allowing life to do what it needs to do. You know, I find with Scorpio, sometimes Scorpios can have, with Pluto, you know, ruling transformation and evolution, Scorpios can have a certain grand idea of what their transformation or their evolution looks like. But sometimes what life has in store for you is a little bit better, is a little bit more deeper. Now, of course, you may have to face some deep, dark truths. And that's another thing with Mercury and retrograde in Sag, is what deep, dark truths aren't you willing to face at this time that may be holding you back, right? Mercury and Cancer in the 10th house. Yes. Does that resonate with you, Nathaniel? Maybe in this case, Nathaniel, maybe where am I relying too much on my parents? All right. And remember, with Mercury and Cancer, may specifically be the mother. Where am I relying on my mother too much, right? In terms of my beliefs. Now we also have Mercury. Let's move to Mercury and the fire signs, okay? Because it's Mercury and Sag, right? With Mercury and Sag in retrograde, my Mercury's in Sagittarius, actually. So a lot of us, Mercury and Sagittarius, are being forced to look at, where am I being a little bit too delusional? Where am I, you know, putting too much optimism and not enough practicality, you know? And this is in terms of our thoughts, our beliefs, you know? Where am I not willing to face certain things, you know, and just kind of winging it, you know? Like, that's Mercury and Sag. You know, Mercury and Sag is kind of learning the importance of planning and the importance of not always winging things, you know? Oh, your Mercury's in Sag. Okay. Yeah. So these are just some of the lessons that, you know, the Mercury in whatever signs that you guys have kind of may need to learn at this time. Now, of course, it's going to also be even more personal to you because, you know, you have different influences, different aspects in your chart. So Mercury in Aries, I was saying, you know, it's about control, where you're not allowing either others to control where they need to control, because some people have more expertise than you in certain areas, or where you're not allowing the life, God, the universe, to come in and take the wheel. You know, the idiom or the phrase, Jesus take the wheel. Like, I mean, Mercury and Aries people are learning to let life, let Jesus, let whoever take the wheel. Like, sometimes you just have to give up control. And ironically, that's another lesson that Capricorn has to learn at this time, but we'll get to Capricorn in a second. The 12th house has to do with karma. Yes, it does have to do with karma. Yes, it does resonate a lot. Although I'm 16 and have to be dependent on parents at this stage, but we'll see. Yes. A shaman said, I am a rebel. I need one. I'm here to change you. Not exactly in those words. Yes. So Mercury in Leo is about where are... Uh-oh, my candle's on fire. So give me 1 second. That's usually not a good sign, but we'll deal with this. Oh my God, why? Sorry about that. Hold on, you guys. Okay, sorry. Yeah, my candle like lit on fire, so it's Mercury retrograde. Yeah, it's fine. It happens. Yeah, when a candle lights on fire, that usually means that it's getting rid of some type of energy. So it's a good thing. But the candle itself is like completely busted. But that's usually a good thing. It's getting rid of something. So. But moving on, Mercury in Leo. So Mercury in Leo is, and concerning Mercury retrograde in Sag, is about where are you not allowing yourself to express freely without self-judgment, without, feeling like you'll be judged, or without feeling like the people around you, won't accept you, So that's what that noise was. Oh yeah, you heard it go on fire? Yeah, that was my candle, and I actually think I got a little bit of glass in my hand, but whatever. So that's what Mercury and Leo is about, is expression and that type of thing. So where you're not allowing, as well as where you're not allowing others to express themselves freely, where are you not? This is also something with Mercury and Aries. Where are you not allowing others' influences or others' advice or others' critiques to kind of help you become better? Where are you being a little bit too, what's the word? Where are you being a little bit too egocentric? Yeah, I got the glass. I got the broken glass. I tried to keep it on to give it some structure, but I was just like, hey, this is not going to work. And I don't want to throw the candle away because I just want it to burn out all the way before I throw it away, because it's a big candle. It's actually the first time I've dealt with like a huge candle like that. But moving on, let's move on to Mercury in the air sign. So Mercury in Libra, if you have Mercury in Libra, you're learning where are you being a little bit too nice? Where are you not allowing yourself to have boundaries with other people and how they treat you, how they talk to you? Where are you not being your true authentic self? Where are you allowing others to maybe sway your opinions and your thoughts in a negative way? Where are you not allowing your own beliefs, your own Okay, and we're gonna do Marilyn soon because Marilyn, I think, wants to talk. I think Marilyn has a message for us. So I'm gonna get through these signs, okay? And so that's where Mercury in Libra is. Mercury in Libra is where are you not asserting your own independence in terms of your thoughts, how you feel about yourself, your own beliefs, and your beliefs to achieve something. Because remember, Mercury in Sag, or Sag is optimism as well. So Mercury in Aquarius, ironically, which was Marilyn Monroe's moon sign, is about, with your Aquarius being ruled by Uranus, it's about where are you not having structure in your thoughts? Where are you not allowing yourself to, have a focus? Where are you kind of, how do I say this? Where are you thinking too much about other people, or in terms of other people? When are you not thinking about yourself? Where are you where are you believing? Because Aquarius is really good at believing in other people and bigging other people up, but sometimes struggle with doing it themselves, and where are you not expressing yourself in terms of your quirkiness, your kind of weirdness, that part of you that maybe the people around you don't understand, or the people around you feel won't understand, but you kind of keep to yourself, where, so Aquariuses are kind of coming out of their shell a little bit in this Mercury retrograde energy. Mercury in Geminis. Mercury is it rules Gemini, so this is its home sign. But remember, with Mercury in Gemini, you're just reevaluating things in general. Where am I with, my projects? Where am I with this relationship? Where am I with that? Do I feel good about it? Is this something I need to cut off? With it being in Sag, it's polar opposite sign. It's, where am I giving of myself too freely? Where am I not being realistic about, my potential and my goals? Where am I holding myself back in general? Am I holding myself back in terms of not giving myself enough credit? Am I, with Mercury and Gemini, it's a really personal thing. Yes, Marilyn Monroe was incredibly intelligent. Now let's get into the air signs. Mercury in Gemini, Mercury in Taurus in retrograde. Mercury in Taurus is about, where am I where's my focus being a bit too materialistic? Whether it's, I want more money, I want more friends, I want more suitors and relationships, I want more this or that, and not, I want good friends, I want to make good money from a good job that I love doing. It's shifting your focus to that, less materialistic and more, my goal is to just be happy. My goal is to, where are you holding yourself back in terms of that? Because sometimes when you focus on the money, that can be your downfall, because when you focus on money and not doing what you love, that's not. Did Lamarr spill my tea? I spilled it a little bit. Mercury and Virgo. Mercury in Virgo is, where are you being too structured? Where are you being too routine? Where do you need to switch things up? Where are you not giving yourself credit in terms of your ability to adapt to new situations? Remember, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so with, Mercury in Virgo, I find that it's about, just where are you holding yourself back in general, with your thoughts, where are you holding yourself back in terms of your true potential? Sometimes Virgos can think, oh, my true potential is to just have a good job and, just pay my bills. But maybe your actual true potential is to, be a star, be a screenwriter. But, and that's something you really want to be. But for some reason, you don't think it could happen, or, that's Mercury Virgo. Now let's get into Mercury Capricorn. Mercury Capricorn is about, where are you not allowing life to happen? Where are you overworking yourself? Where are you not facing certain things you need to face in order to, improve, in order to grow, in order to get the life you want to have, right? So I watched a film about her. I didn't know she had a soft-spoken voice. Do you know what sign her Mercury is in? I don't know. True, Virgo, yes. So since Marilyn is so insistent that we talk with her, we're gonna take a little break. I know Marilyn wants to talk right now. Marilyn has just been so heavy on my mind recently. So we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna read on Marilyn, and then we're gonna see how we feel afterwards. All right. But I hope you enjoy that little synopsis of Mercury and how you may be affected by this current Mercury retrograde energy. Maybe later we'll talk about how you can be affected with your Venus sign, because, Venus went direct today. But for right now, we're going to do Marilyn, all right? So we're going to take a little break. I'm going to play a little music, and we're going to do Marilyn Monroe, all right?
You got less than 24 hours, less than.
Black Barbie doll, black Barbie doll. Black Barbie doll, black Barbie Black Barbie doll, black Barbie doll. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. La 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 la. All you do is la 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 la. All you do is lie. Black Barbie doll, black Barbie doll. 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 Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. La 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 la. All you do is la 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 la. All you do is lie. Black Barbie doll, black Barbie doll. 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 Hola, everybody. I am back. Now let's do a reading on Marilyn Monroe. I need to send this song to my ex. All right, you guys, let's read on Marilyn Monroe. Thank you, God, for surrounding us all in this live stream with your watery wall of protection, your fiery wall of protection, your warrior shield of protection. In the name of Jesus, thank you, Marilyn, for joining us. I appreciate it. We come in peace. What messages does Marilyn Monroe have for us in this live stream tonight? What message does Marilyn Monroe have in this live stream tonight? What message does Marilyn Monroe have in this live stream for us in this live stream tonight? What message does Marilyn Monroe have in this live stream for us in this live stream tonight? The looks aren't everything. It's how you feel about yourself. She was the most beautiful woman in the world, but she didn't feel like it. Obviously, we've heard this so many times. A lot of men cheated on their wives or their girlfriends with her. For some reason, they felt like Marilyn was a pass. It's Marilyn, you know, we get a pass. Something about Marilyn was a pass. I feel like Marilyn was used a lot, but used a lot as like a ploy or some type of like I feel like in a weird way, some women let their wives, some women let their husbands sleep with her. I know that sounds weird. I feel like some women knew that their husbands were sleeping with Marilyn. What message does Marilyn have for us in this live stream? Yeah, she was often treated like a side piece, and she was often a side piece. You know, it kind of is the truth. She was often a side piece to a lot of men. She was beautiful arm candy. You know, I see a lot of men coming to her house. A lot of men came to her. But she was starting to realize she didn't need men as much as she needed herself. By the time she passed away, she realized she had spent most of her life relying on men. I spent all my life relying on men, and not enough on myself. I spent all my life relying on what men thought about me, what men thought about how I looked. You know, I spent all my life looking through life and through the eyes of men and how they looked at women. What messages does Marilyn have for us? She's saying that there's not enough women in power in Hollywood. There's not enough women in power in Hollywood. Men manipulated her mind. Here we had the 8 of coins. So she always wanted to be a star. She always wanted to be successful. She was always thinking about money. You know, and she was always thinking about money. She had to do certain things for money that she didn't want to do. 3 of Cups. This is often about a love triangle. Love triangle. I also feel like there were men who wanted to be her. She had some weird relationships with men. She also had a lot of secrets about men. She knew a lot of secrets about men and what they were really like. Like, I feel like she had some tea. And she kind of had a smart mouth, too. She had a smart mouth. She would call things out, and that would sometimes get her in trouble with men. Like, by the time she passed away, she kind of had this idea of men that they were almost in a way beneath her. Like, all they wanted was sex. All they wanted was I hear her saying punani. All they wanted was my punani. Not my choice of words, but this is what she's saying. But she was the empress. She knew how to make money. It wasn't necessarily the way she wanted to make money, but she was always beautiful. You know, she was always adorned in, you know, jewelry and beautiful makeup and beautiful clothes. But she always had to put herself in a place of being vulnerable with men in order to attain that. She had to place herself in a state of being vulnerable to the studio to attain that. Like, she felt like she always had to give up something of herself. That's what I see her saying. I always had to give up something of myself to get what I wanted. And it was never a part of myself that I felt totally comfortable with. It was never a part of myself that I felt. I had other parts of myself that I felt were more worthy, more valuable than just my beauty or my body. You know, she had brains as well. Here we have the King of Coins. Men with money. She attracted a lot of men with money. Men with power. A lot of Capricorn energy, not necessarily that they were Capricorns, but you know, Capricorn is also associated with the father, the provider, the caretaker, the caregiver. Three of Coins. The Justice. Ooh, she had secrets about the government. She knew secrets about the government. She knew secrets about the government, and she knew that things weren't always as they seemed. She didn't like what she knew. She didn't like what she knew about the government. Hi, Robin. She didn't like the things that she knew about the government. And I feel like whatever she knew kind of made her a little bit crazy. A little. Security clearance pillow talk. Exactly, Bree. She knew things weren't what they seemed. And she also knew men in the government. Like, she knew that things weren't what they seemed with the politicians and the people who worked in the government either. Like, she started to realize things just weren't what they seemed in general. Like, oh crap. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. I have to go back because I lost you guys. Sorry. I like that tarot deck. Thank you, Q. It's the Cosmo Spanish tarot deck, I believe is what it's called. She had intuition, but she didn't use it. Exactly. Princess of Cups, but she was really good at keeping secrets. She was really good at keeping her mouth shut. She knew to keep her mouth shut about certain things. But she was very intelligent. I feel like she would have went on to either become an activist of some sort, or I feel like she would have went on to become an activist, a humanitarian. I have to be honest, I do feel like in some ways she would have been a threat to the government. All right. I just feel like she would have spilled tea. She would have spilled some truth teas. And there were people out there who didn't like that. They didn't like the power that Marilyn had and how much she knew. She knew too much. Two of coins. 9 of coins. Here we have the the Queen of Cups. Interesting. You know, Marilyn was an escapist. She liked to escape. That's why she, you know, did drugs. That's why she drank. She wanted to escape. She felt very confined. She felt very restricted. That was also one thing that really got to her, was she felt so confined just by life. She had trouble, you know, having children. You know, she had these weird relationships with men. She felt so confined. She kind of just wanted to get away and go to where she wasn't known, but she was known everywhere. There was nowhere she could go to start a new life, you know? She was starting to get sick of being Marilyn Monroe. She wanted a normal life, normal family, normalcy. In a lot of ways, she didn't have a normal life. Even when she became Marilyn Monroe, even up until her death, there just were things about her life, the way she lived, that were just not normal. And she felt very abandoned by men. She felt very abandoned by men. I feel like men used her for sex, and then they became very cold or indifferent with her. You know, she would want more emotional, you know, more emotional commitment from them, and they just wouldn't give it to her. Even in her own relationship, she would want more emotional commitment, but she didn't know how to be. She didn't know how to be dependent on herself. Her energy is heavy, yeah. She didn't know how to be dependent on herself. For so long, all her life, she had to depend on other people. So, you know, by the time she passed away, she was becoming definitely more independent. Now, I will say people didn't like her asserting her, and people did not like when Marilyn asserted her independence. People did not like when Marilyn started to become less dependent on them. That's when different sides of men would come out. People liked having Marilyn dependent on them. So I feel like this is a lesson on dependency, and not just dependency to drugs, alcohol, food, what so have you, but dependency on people can also be a drug. I hear her saying. You can also be addicted to people. No, she was a Gemini. Towards the end of her life, she wasn't getting the same attention from the studio as she once did when she was at her prime, you know, at her most youthful, most beautiful. Not to say she wasn't beautiful by the time she passed. She was very upset at how the men in Hollywood, or the men in power, the men at the studio, were treating her by the time she passed. They treated her, they were very ageist, you know, they were very... She was treated with a lot of disrespect, you know, in her day and age. She was treated with a lot of disrespect. And she struggled with sobriety. Especially towards the end of her life. She struggled with sobriety, addictions. The Devil card is about addictions. But remember, people can also be addictions. People, meaning, can also be the public as well. She's saying social media is an addiction. Fame is an addiction. Love can be an addiction. She put a lot of worth into everything outside of her. She put a lot of worth into money, her fame, the way men felt about her, but not enough in Marilyn Monroe. Not enough in Marilyn Monroe as a person behind the makeup and the image. And it's funny because I see her buying stuff, and it's like she bought stuff with even the idea of, ooh, men will like this. And not always, I like this. Simple things like that, you know? She's saying men aren't always strong. Some men are weak. And we can find ourselves being weak by feeling we need to depend on men. Feeling that we need to depend on men for love, for children, she's saying even. For validation. Men validated me, she's saying. Men validated me. But I didn't validate myself. And that's ultimately why she says she's not here today. The same men that validated me turned their back on me when I started to validate myself. She says, I wasn't weak, I wasn't weak, but it was the way men saw me that I was weak. They liked that I was weak. They preyed on the fact that they saw me as weak. And because men saw me as weak, suddenly I became weak. So she's saying, watch who you keep around you. Watch the company you keep. Sometimes the people you keep around you are your biggest downfall. Sometimes what you feel you need is exactly the thing that you need to be giving yourself. Go get help if you're sick. Go get help if you have issues with drinking or food or drugs. She's saying death was her transformation. In a weird way, I feel like she prayed for death a few times. Like she prayed for a transition into the afterlife, But I feel like by the time she passed away, she kind of wanted to live, but she wanted more of a transformation. But I feel like by that time, death was kind of on her door. Sometimes you have to be careful about calling on death as well. All right? Even when you're not sick in the mind. All right? And I don't mean sick in a negative way. Money's not everything. Don't become addicted to money. Become addicted to living a better life. Become addicted to improving your life, to being happy. That's what I wish I had been addicted to. Not men, not fame, not drugs or alcohol. Q says I cringe when people say fuck my life. I know. Yeah. So, yes, money comes. Heal the relationship with your parents as well. She's saying, all my life I wanted a father. All my life I wanted a mother. I wanted someone to take care of me, but what I didn't realize was that I was perfectly capable of taking care of myself. Both emotionally, physically, spiritually. So women and gay men out there, don't feel like you need a man to accomplish any of your dreams. Don't think you need a man to feel secure within yourself. A secure man wants a secure woman, and an insecure man wants an insecure woman. Or a man. Insecure men prey on insecurity. So that was pretty deep. How'd you guys think about that? Thank you, Marilyn. We sent you back to the light with love. Thank you for the messages you sent us, you gave to us during this live stream, during this reading. I appreciate you. And if there are any other messages that you would like to come through while I'm still on live, please feel free to share. She definitely did have a hard life. Nick says, I feel like I need women most of the time. Well, what Marilyn just said applies to you as well, Nick. You know, all you need is yourself. That was intense, actually. Yeah, that was intense. You know, sometimes we can get addicted to being codependent. You know, everything is a relationship. So with Venus going direct, ironically, we're looking at, you know, the relationships that you have with people and things and yourself. So it was a very, very appropriate message. You and Marilyn got a lot in common. Yes, Nick. Gives a lot to think on. I agree, Bree. I seen a bio about her. Men were even messing with her when she was a teenager. Exactly. So that's all she knew. That's what she was used to. Was men. So let's get into the personal reads. We have a few questions to get through. Not for you to know, sent her question. Breathing heavy. I needed to hear this message. It's something I already knew, but hearing it from the universe, eye-opening. Yes. I get used for LA often and struggled with addiction in the past. Yes, Nick. Her beauty was like a blessing and a curse mixed with all the trauma and especially surrounded by men, apparently. Exactly. Love you all on your spiritual journey. I wish you all the best. Thank you, Gaslight. She was programmed from an early age. Exactly, Monique. That's exactly what it was. She was programmed to, you know, behave and think the way, you know, that she had, you know. But once she started to break free, you know, people didn't like that. So I was looking at her chart and she actually, her 8th house, which is the house of death, but I don't want to get too grim. but her 8th house is in Pisces, like mine. And she had a lot of aspects. Her 8th house was she had a lot of other placements in her 8th house. I don't have any placements in my 8th house. So she had Mars in her 8th house, and I think some other ones. And Mars can be masculine energy. So I've heard many theories about her death, but that can point to possible death at the hands of masculine energy or something like that, or a man. But oh yes, I'm fine after that reading. I've actually read on Marilyn before, so I'm pretty kind of used to her energy, and I'm very familiar with her story. So, I'll probably take a bath and be fine. You're welcome, Gaslit. For those of you who missed it and are just joining, first of all, I am doing live readings as well. I just did a reading on Marilyn Monroe, so you'll have to watch that during the playback. I get 2 male energies. Yes. You may be onto something. So Not For You to Know's question is, where do I see her business in the next 5 years? My first time here, and I'm really enjoying this message. Thank you, Chandro. I would love it if you would like my video and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. Make sure you share with your friends and family. I know some of you turn your friends and your family members to my channel, and I love that. Your nails are amazing, Lamarr. Your nails, Lamarr, are amazing. Thank you. I just keep them trimmed, and I take fish oil pills. So apparently that is really good for your nails. Would I be able to channel Anne Frank? I'm not sure how I feel about that. That might be too heavy. But I might do Michael Jackson possibly. But I read Michael recently, so I don't know. It's been a while since I read Marilyn. But let's answer Not For You to Know's question really quickly. She sent a $5 donation to my super chat. How will Not For You to Know's business be in the next 5 years? What can Not For You to Know expect for her business? Ooh, we had a card just fly out like that. Let's see what it is. We get the Strength card, so you're going to have to work hard, Not For You to Know. All right, you're going to have to, push past any fears you may have, any thoughts of failure, possibly. Like, you're going to have to push through, work hard for this, okay? For this success, especially to get the success I feel you want. That would be cool, Nathaniel. If we could channel Michael. Yeah, we might be able to do Michael Jackson. Yes, I talk about you, Star and Earthy, all the time. Oh, I love both of them, Star and Earthy. I haven't talked to Star in a while. We haven't had a Kiki chat on the phone in a minute. That must mean we're gonna have one soon. But what messages do Not For You to Know spirit guides, angels, ancestors have Not For You to Know about her business in the next 5 years? Say my name, say my name. Yes, Nathaniel. Am I saying it right or wrong? Nathaniel. Her point, I just want to know what has in her mind. I just love her story. Anne Frank. I had to read her book in, I think, elementary school or middle school. It's actually a good book. Here we have the Ace of Wands in the past. At least I thought it was a good book. The Empress. So this is a good sign. Success, monetary success. But it's working from the ground up. It's kind of, starting from scratch. Prince of Coins. I don't know what kind of business it is, but I feel like there are some restrictions you're going to face. Maybe certain clauses, certain, what are they called? Licenses you may have to get to do certain things. Or, there's certain loopholes you're going to have to go through, certain hoops you're going to have to jump through. So it's a process. But I see success. I see success. Not For You to Know. I see success. This is my success card in this deck. But you're going to have to work hard for it with the Strand card coming out, but it's going to be success within 5 years. All right, not for you to know. Oh, it's a co-owned business with family. Okay. So next, I believe, is Christine. Is Christine still here? And if Christine is still here, please ask your question. Hold on, y'all. Oh, it's been open for like 31 years. Oh, interesting. Okay, Christine, what's your question? Would you do John Bonet, the little girl who got killed but nobody knows who killed her? I don't like that energy. I don't like John Bonet. I mean, she seems like a wonderful girl, but I don't like the energy of that whole situation. My ex, Lamarr, he's throwing me off. What is going on with that? Today sucked. Got with the girl I like yesterday and again didn't hear from her at all today. I'm getting salty about to cut off a cap. Wonder what we'll do. The weather here is awful, but it's a nice place overall. I'm sorry to hear that, Nick. What's going on with Christine and her ex? What's going on with Christine and her ex? Thank you for the $10 donation to my super chat, Tawanda. If you would like a reading, you can donate to my PayPal or my super chat. $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. I prefer donations to my PayPal. What's going on with Christine and her ex? Oh, your dad started it all. You unfortunately lost him in January. Oh. So what kind of business is it? What's going on with Christine and her ex? Here we have the Ten of Wands in the past. The King of Cups in the present position. Is there something about him where he's exotic? Is he foreign? Is he of a different race than you? Or does he drink? Prince of Cups, Princess of Cups. Oh, that's fine, Tawanda. Here we have the Six of Swords. The Nine of Wands. There's something about him where he doesn't want to deal with past experiences in the relationship, or something about the past in the relationship he doesn't want to deal with. And there's something about him where he kind of likes to be alone. He likes his freedom at this time to go as he pleases. I don't know if you guys are looking to get back together or something like that, or if you're looking to get back together with him. Let's just pull a few more cards. Yeah, there's something about where he doesn't want to deal with certain aspects of the relationship, dealing with the past specifically. Thank you, Brianne, for the $20 donation. So that may explain why he's acting a little wonky. He likes his freedom and he prefers to maintain his freedom in the relationship. So once again, I don't know if you guys are trying to get back together or what the situation is, but that's what I see. He's trying to maintain his current stance while at the same time, basically, I feel trying to get his cake and eat it too. Going to get my butt in the shower. Can't take the energy I've been feeling after the Marilyn reading. Love you guys. Good night. Good night. Yeah, light a candle. But do you feel good about that, Christine? All right, next is Q. What's your question, Q? I am so done with his ass. Yeah. Very hot and cold. Very tit for tat. And then next we would be doing Brienne. So Brienne, you will be after Q. So if you have a question, Brienne, please ask it in the chat. Oh wait, Q, you sent a thingy, so I'll just answer you there. So Q, do you want me to read your thing out loud, or do you prefer to have privacy? I don't have time for the mess. I'm good, beloved. Thanks, Lamarr. Well, no. Q actually donated before Tawanda, so I go by who donates. So, okay, Q says he doesn't mind if I say his question out loud. Do Q and Cody have a soul tie, and will Q and Cody have a stable and consistent relationship with one another? Okay, the cards are acting a little cray-cray. Will Q and Cody have a stable relationship and a consistent relationship, and do they have a soul tie with one another? Will Q and Cody maintain a consistent, stable relationship with one another, and do they have a soul tie? Will Q and Cody have a consistent, stable relationship with each other, and do they have a soul tie? Ten of Wands here in the past. Is Cody out of the closet, Q? Eight of Cups here. There's something about he's not totally comfortable with the Six of Wands. There's something about him he's not totally comfortable with the emotional, maybe quasi-romantic aspect of the relationship. Well, he's out of the closet. Oh, okay. Well, there's something about him where he's not comfortable with the romantic aspect of the relationship. Is there a romantic aspect? I feel like there's some feelings involved. Whether you have feelings for him, he has feelings for you, or you both have feelings for each other. There's also something about secretly one of you wanting more, both of you wanting more, but once again, him not being totally comfortable with, has he ever been in a relationship or something? Like, there are feelings involved. Oh. Well, you definitely could have a soul tie, but whether or not the relationship will be stable, I just feel like there's something about both of you coming from different spectrums, different viewpoints, different perspectives, and it's kind of hard for you to kind of come on the same level a lot of the times, or to see life from the same point of view. Cancers are hard to deal with, right? So I feel like consistency and stability in this relationship is going to be tough, you know, especially since he's not the most willing to let his guard down, or maybe you're not always willing to let your guard down. So I feel like there's something about needing to be more forthfront and honest with each other about your feelings and what you truly want. I'm not sure if you're always forthright about how you feel, especially with him. Yeah, very passionate and emotional. So, I feel like the focus is more emotional consistency and honesty and reliability. So, I don't know. I feel like there needs to be more of an emotional investment from both of you. Cancers are complicated souls. 14 minutes before shit starts getting worse. Yeah, oh, Mercury retrograde actually is in 2 a.m. So it's in about an hour and 14 minutes. So next, you forget about that cue, is Brienne. And I think Brienne said she put her information in the PayPal note as well. Okay. So Brienne wants a birth chart reading. So we're going to look at Brienne's birth chart really quickly. All right, so we're going to put in her information. By the way, for those of you who want a full in-depth birth chart reading, I do full in-depth birth charts, all right, readings on my website, lamartownsendtarot.com, which is right here. For those of you who want a reading, you can either scroll down. Here's the store section where all my readings are. You can purchase them directly right here, or you can simply click the purchase a personal birth chart video reading link at the top. I actually need to get rid of this video because that's not how I do my readings anymore. But these are the readings I offer. They're very expensive, but it's because they're full in-depth readings. And then here are where my personal psychic tarot readings are. You can purchase. I do phone readings, Skype readings, video readings, email readings. And I think I'm very affordable, to be honest. Very affordable prices. But let's move on. Here we have, we're doing a quick birth chart overview reading for Bree. And she wants to know if there's anything else important she should know about. We talked about creativity and art last time. Is there anything you want to know? This is, a one question kind of thing. So what is your question? What do you want to know? So what's your question about your birth chart, Bree? Yes, good night, not for you to know. What should you watch out for while you try to pursue your artistic endeavors? You have Venus in Pisces in the 8th house. This is about transformation. Venus is all about, it can be creativity, entertainment, how we make our money and how we spend our money. It's also a passion. So with Pisces, Neptune is very creative. It's creative energy. And the 8th house is about transformation and evolution. So know that your art will change, how you produce your art, maybe even the art mediums that you choose to kind of express yourself through will always change and transform, because the 8th house is ruled by Pluto. So this is about transformation and evolution. All right, let's see what else we have going on here. You have Mercury in Capricorn in the 7th house. Okay, so you're someone who Mercury once again rules our thoughts. It also rules communication, our primary and secondary school years as well. So we talked a little bit about Mercury in Capricorn and at this time and what your kind of focus is in terms of Mercury currently in retrograde. But with Mercury in Capricorn, sometimes can struggle with being open-minded, with being optimistic in their thought, especially within the 7th house. It's interesting. I don't know if you were around when we did the Marilyn Monroe reading and how Marilyn was talking about how, it's important to not depend on people. With Mercury and Capricorn in the 7th house of one-on-one relationships, you can have a tendency to get validation or to, get some sort of support from your one-on-one relationships when it comes to your ideas about art, when it comes to executing your ideas. But with Mercury and Capricorn, it's really, really about, feeling good about your ideas, about your art, believing in yourself and not necessarily needing validation, especially from the people surrounding you. Because with your Venus and Pisces in the 8th house, sometimes your art may be misunderstood. You have Moon in Capricorn as well, so you're very kind of in the 6th house of self-improvement and work and health. So you're someone who is very serious, and, understand that, not everyone is going to be as serious about your art as you. Not everyone is going to be as serious about your ambitions or your goals as you, but you, have to stick to your goals and your ambitions nonetheless. Not everyone is always going to understand how you feel as well, or where you're coming from in terms of your emotions with your Moon in Capricorn. Now with Moon in Capricorn, it's also about kind of understanding other people on an emotional level, because sometimes Moon and Capricorns struggle with that. They're not the most emotional people. Moon and Capricorns are very practical people with their emotions. It's easy for them to cut their emotions off when necessary. But understanding, that maybe other people don't have that capability, and being able to apply that to your art as well, because, the moon can also relate to our artistic endeavors as well. Mainly how we feel about our art, how our art makes other people feel, things like that. Let's get into a few more placements. Now you have Mars in Virgo in the 3rd house of communication. So you have a lot of earth energy, all right, first of all. And Mars in Virgo is someone who, Mars, first of all, rules action. It also rules self-improvement. So, with that, it's sometimes with Mars and Virgo, they like everything to be perfect. They like everything to have some sort of structure to it. I'm going to do this, this, and this. But sometimes Mars and Virgo at the same time can struggle with being open-minded, with being fluid, but, with going with the flow. So, learn to go with the flow. Try not to be too, first of all, you're a good communicator because you have Mars and Virgo in the 3rd house. So it's good communication. You also have Jupiter and Virgo in the 3rd house, Lilith in Virgo, and Saturn in Virgo. So you have a lot of Virgo energy in the 3rd house of communication, of siblings, short distance travel, of our thoughts. So your art is a type of art that makes people think. That sparks conversations, but just make sure that you're not doing it for shock value. And the good thing about Mars and Virgo is that it is structure. There is structure to it. So you're not the type of person who you put a lot of thought into, in detail into the art that you create. So always try to keep that about you as well. Now let's just quickly get into your houses. You have your 10th house in Aries, your midheaven in Aries, which makes you someone who's a self-starter. Your 1st house is in Cancer, all right? And you have your sun in Virgo. Or no, your sun in Capricorn, I'm sorry. And your moon in Capricorn, as well as your Mercury in Capricorn and Venus in Pisces. So you're very grounded. But, you know, being open-minded, not being afraid to kind of step outside the box every now and then, I think is really important when it comes to you and your art, all right? So I hope you enjoy that quick overview birth chart reading. And now we'll get into your question. For those of you who are just joining, I am doing live readings. If you want to get a reading, you can send a donation to my PayPal or my Super Chat. I prefer my PayPal. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, $3 is three questions, so on and so forth. The link to the PayPal is in the description box as well as the chat box. So Brienne has one more question because Brienne or Bree, I'm sorry, donated $20 to my PayPal, and $20 is two questions. So let's see what question Brienne had. What immediate messages do my guides have for me? So what immediate messages do Bree's guides have for her? You're welcome, Bree. What immediate message do Bree's guides have for her? Yes, Tawanda's next, and then is Christine again with a $10 donation. Thank you, Christine. So we're gonna answer Bree's question, which you know what I have for her, then we'll do Tawanda, and then we'll do Christine. So what messages do Bree's guides have for her? What messages do Bree's guides have for her? Well, Marcus, you can purchase a live reading, or you can purchase some more in-depth reading, which is a personal reading on my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com, or just type in Lamarr Townsend Tarot on Google, and I'll show up. Halo P. Ratliff. So what messages do Bree's guides have for her? How are you doing today? You missed all the fun. We talked about Marilyn Monroe. We did a reading on her. We talked about astrology. Now we're doing a reading on Bree. Here we have the Final Justice card in the past for you, Bree. The Four of Coins. So are you struggling with focusing at this time? Princess of Wands. Looks like your guides want you to focus at this time. Are you thinking about changing jobs as well? Your guides also want you to focus. Are you single? Because if you're single, your guides want you to focus more on your work life, your career, your money in some way, and getting stable in those areas of your life. They also want you to look more at the men you're dating if you're single, or the man you're currently dating. Because I see that there's a few options on the table in terms of dating in men, but you know, there's something about them where they don't bring the full package to the table. I feel like there's a strong energy around your guides wanting you to move, and they really want you to work on your creativity, your art, your music if you make music. Was laid off, looking for work from married with issues. Oh, okay. Yeah, your guides really want you to focus on, you know, work and focus on looking to work from home. Oh, okay, married with issues. Yeah, your guides want you to focus a bit more on getting structure in your life at this time, and really focusing on a creative outlet, or, you know, maybe that's the working from home aspect here, you know, something that allows you to express yourself, but also allows you to make money. All right. So that's what they want you to focus on at this time. I don't know, my birthday coming up, and I hate my birthday getting used by women. Everything changes after you hook up. Everything does change once you hook up. I had a rough childhood and was always getting in fights. Yeah. I hear you, Nick. So Tawanda, I can't actually see your question, so please type your question again. For those of you who are still on here, I'm doing live readings, so you can send a donation to my super chat or my PayPal. I do prefer my PayPal. The link is in the description box as well as the chat box. $5 to $10 is one question. $2 is, or $20 is two questions. $3 is three questions, so on and so forth. Oh, thank you, Gaslit. Okay, so Tawanda wants a general reading. So what general messages do the angels, do the ancestors have for Tawanda at this time? What general messages do the angels, do Tawanda's angels and Tawanda's ancestors, protectors have for Tawanda at this time? What general messages do Tawanda's angels, ancestors, and protectors have for Tawanda at this time? What general messages do Tawanda's angels, ancestors, and protectors have for Tawanda at this time? Nick, where do you live? What general messages do the angels have for Tawanda at this time? Thank you again, Lamarr. That confirmed what I was feeling, but I had begun feeling a little hopeless. You're so welcome, Bree. I am here to help and to give guidance and clarity. That's my job. I'm glad you guys like the Marilyn reading. I feel like we need to read Marilyn more often when she wants to talk to us. I love her energy. All right, Tawanda, we have the Three of Cups here in the past. The Moon here in the present position. So is there something going on in the relationship or your relationship at this time? We have the Eight of Swords here in the future position. I'm feeling disconnected maybe from your partner or someone else in your life, maybe that you're romantically linked to. We have the Six of Swords. Here we have the Four of Wands, or the Five of Wands, I'm sorry. I'm getting maybe you're in conflict with someone. You're single. Oh, okay. Here we have the Empress. Are you dating someone right now or talking to someone? Oh, you live in Ohio. Oh, right, of course. I should have known that. Did I tell you guys I saw Nick? I saw what Nick looks like. But I already told you, I already gave them a little bit of a synopsis of what you look like. Nick. We have the Magician here. No, you're not dating anyone. Are you in conflict with anyone in your life at this time? Whether it means you're just not getting along, you're not seeing eye to eye. Because I'm getting your conflict. Five of Wands is conflict. Could be conflict with yourself. Could be that as well. Maybe you're conflicted over a decision, because I do see you wanting to move, wanting to travel, wanting to break out of where you currently live. Oh, you're in conflict with a family member. Okay. Well, it may be best to not look for, is this a reading for me? No, Nick. Did you donate to my PayPal or the super chat? It may be best to not look for support from this family member. I don't feel like they're the most supportive. There's also something about this family member where they really don't like seeing people doing better than them. As harsh as that sounds. And I feel like now's the time for you to focus on your family relationships. Where is your Mercury in, Tawanda? Or do you have Cancer anywhere? Or any placements in your fourth house? Do you know off the top of your head? Sounds like shit I'm going through. Oh shit, thanks for letting me know that. Yeah. Mercury in Cancer. Okay, yeah, because I'm getting, that makes sense. I feel like right now is the time for you to not really look for support from family. Gemini in the 4th house. Now's not really the time for you to look for support from family, but more so focus on being the support you need for yourself. But also, I feel like there's something about needing to focus on your... Do you have children? It'd be your own blood. Exactly, Christine. Do you have children, Tawanda? Yeah, I'm the same way. No kids. Oh, okay. Yeah, you may kind of have to go out on your own, separate from your family. I don't feel like either this family member or maybe family in general is going to give you the support you need. So you're kind of going to just have to go out and do what you need to do. All right. And then ironically, I feel like once you do what you need to do and you show that you're successful at that, doing that, your family will come around, or this family member will come around. So now let's do Christine's question, because Christine donated after Tawanda. So Christine, what is your next question? You're after Christine Gaslit. Yes, Nick, you definitely need to cleanse your energy. I can't believe it's 1 a.m. already here. Time goes by so fast. Christine says she wants to know about her future husband. Let's see. So what can the angels, the spirit guides, tell us about Christine and her future husband? What can the angels tell us about Christine's husband? What can Christine's angels, spirit guides, and ancestors tell us about Christine's husband? What can Christine's angels, ancestors, spirit guides tell us about Christine's husband? What can the angels and ancestors, the protectors, tell, or Christine's angels, ancestors, and protectors tell us about Christine's husband? Okay. Last shuffle. For those of you joining, I'm doing live readings, so you can send a super chat or a PayPal. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. And if you want to donate to my super chat or my PayPal, I prefer PayPal. You can donate there. The link is in the chat box as well as the description box. So moving on, here we have the Ace of Swords here in the past position, which sometimes this means technology. I don't know if technology was your medium of meeting people in the past, or if you like use apps or something. Here we have the Devil card in the present position. The Queen of Cups. So we currently could be dealing with addictions. Doesn't necessarily have to mean drugs. Can mean addictions of any kind. Remember, we were talking about addictions earlier with the Marilyn Monroe reading. All right. Addictions can be people and things like that. But addiction is basically you not being able to either handle life on your own or feeling like you can't handle life on your own. All right. Here we have the Five of Cups here in the present position. Here we have the Fool card here in the future position. Five of Wands. Queen of Swords. I feel like you can help him in some way. There's something about where you can help him or you end up helping him. And it's through helping him that a relationship forms or a bond forms. But I feel like there's something about you meeting him, maybe not at his worst, but not at his best. And him transforming over time into the man I see you wanting to be with. Yeah, it's kind of cold here too. Kind of over the cold. But he could be a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, or have this energy in his chart. But there's something about him kind of finding himself or figuring himself out at this time. So I feel like when you meet him, he's not at his best. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, he just needs some type of nurturance, assistance, something like that. But there's something about the relationship where it's mutually beneficial at the same time. Do you know him? How old are you, Christine? Because your age will determine whether or not you know him or not. I know that sounds weird, but if you're young, if you're under 20, 30, you probably don't know him. Yeah, you don't know him. You're 26, you don't know him. Oh, honey, you have so much life to live. I'm 26 too. Just be patient. I would say within 4 years you can meet him. That's why I asked if you're below 30, you probably don't know him. So next is Gaslit Free Muse sent $20 to my super chat. Thank you, which means Gaslit gets 2 questions. So tell me about my humanitarian journey. What do you mean by your humanitarian journey? What do you mean by that? Are you humanitarian or I'm confused? Please be a little bit more specific. Gaslit. I don't know what my current whatever you call it is fucking with me. What do you mean, Nick? How's it going to go, your humanitarian journey? Okay. Let's just ask, how will Gaslit's humanitarian journey go? How will Gaslit's humanitarian journey go? How will Gaslit's humanitarian journey go? You're 47. Okay, how will Gaslit's humanitarian journey go? How will Gaslit's humanitarian journey go? How will Gaslit's humanitarian journey go? How will Gaslit's humanitarian journey go. I get the moon in the past, the 5 of coins in the present position. Well, I don't feel this is definitely something you're doing for money. All right. 2 of Cups, maybe could find love, romance through your humanitarian work. All right. I get the Tower, though, so once again, not sure exactly what humanitarian work is in terms of this. Are you doing fundraising? But there needs to be more planning, more structure around this. Otherwise, it could go, it could have no point to it. It could have no end goal to it, all right? Just doing something out of the kindness of your heart with no intention can be futile, all right? So what is your intention with this humanitarian work? I feel like that's what you really need to figure out. Because there's something about where this could turn into something bigger, but right now it's just an idea. It's an expression. It's an energy that you want to, express. But it's like, okay, what channel is this gonna come through? How do you plan on channeling this energy? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered here. Not just for me or for me, but just spiritually. Like, okay, what exactly do you want to do with this? All right. So I feel like once you figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it in terms of your humanitarian work, then it's all about executing it, moving forward. So yeah, that's what I see. It's definitely something that's going to bring you shamanism, narco awareness. Oh, okay. It's definitely something that's going to bring you peace and happiness. So that's a good thing. What's your second question? Gaslit. I would just work on more structure, like having a cohesiveness to this humanitarian journey, so that you kind of, bring in other people who would want to work with you. Because I feel like the more you work with other people, the better. Yeah. Give me a second, y'all. I'm about to take off that video on my website that I don't use at all. I need to make a new video. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Okay. So, Gaslit, what's your next question? And do you feel good about that? Did I give you clarity? Oh, wow. Second question. I donated to the next person who loves you. Oh, wow. So it looks like someone gets a free question because Gaslit was nice enough to give her second question to someone else. So you know how that goes. Just to be fair, we will do a game. All right. And I don't know if I want to do. Why can't I edit this? This is annoying. I want to do something different than the number game. So let's come up with a new game for us to do. About to sage my body for real. Yes, Nick. And maybe take a spiritual bath too while you're at it. Let me just make sure it's deleted. All right, cool. So it's off my website. Yay. Ooh, that's a good one. Guess something about my birth chart. I like that one, Nathaniel. Okay. So the first one who gets this answer to this question gets the reading that Gaslit donated. Gaslit donated $20, and you guys know that $20 is 2 questions. However, Gaslit donated her second question to someone else who loves me, and I know you all love me because I love you. And for those of you who are also on here, I am doing live readings still. So if you want a live reading, you can donate to my super chat or my PayPal. The PayPal link is in the description box in the chat box. $5 to $10 is 1 question, $20 is 2 questions, so on and so forth. So for those in the room, the Cappy got a hold on me. Sagittarius don't get attached quick. I don't know why I'm already. So for those of you who are here, we're going to do a game for this free question that Gaslit donated to someone. And the question is going to be, the first person who gets the answer correctly gets the reading. Which house do I have the most heavy Capricorn energy in? Go. Who knows the answer to that question? Aisha wants to guess. Yes, Aisha. You know we love to spill tea, and we love spill tea here. Nick got it first. It was the 5th house. That was quick. Oh, Nathaniel got it first. I'm sorry, not Nick. Nathaniel got it first, the 5th house. I was going to guess Capricorn. You seem like you have so much of it. Yes, I have my Neptune, my Lilith, my North Node, my Sun, all in Capricorn in the 5th house. So Nathaniel got it right. I also have Neptune. I think I said that right. Neptune, Uranus. I have my Neptune, my Uranus, my Lilith, my North Node, and my Sun all in the 5th house in Capricorn. So yes, Nathaniel. So what's your question? Nathaniel gets the free question. You have a beautiful spirit, Tawanda, and you deserve all 11. Yes, Tawanda. Capricorn down. Yes, Q, exactly. Oh, wait, were you talking about... Oh, okay, Vanessa. Yeah. Capricorn and Virgo power couple. Yes. I love Virgos. Can I have a birth chart reading? Sure, you can have a birth chart reading. Send your placements. And what do you want to know about your birth chart? Vanessa asks, am I a Virgo moon? No, I'm actually a Libra moon. Moon in Libra, Virgo rising though. Oh my gosh, Nathaniel was born in 2002. In 2002, I was in elementary school playing video games, dancing to Britney Spears in my underwear. Jesus, I'm old. But let's get into this tea. And let's get into Nathaniel's birth chart. Nathaniel was born on July 11th. You were 12, Q. In 2002, I think I was like 10 or 11. So you're not that much older than me, Q. I was born in 91. It looks like Nathaniel wants to know about love and career, which is interesting because Nathaniel's like, how old are you, Nathaniel? You're born in 2002. You have to be 16 or 16, right? In London. So this is your birth chart, Nathaniel. You're 16. You were 22 in 2002 and brokenhearted. Child. Hit me, baby, one more. Yes. Except by 2002, it was like, I got that boom, boom that you want, right? Watching me all night long. Hurry up before it's gone. All right, Nathaniel. Ooh, look at you. You have Sun in Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, Mars in Cancer, and Moon in Leo, all in the 11th house of Uranus. Friendships, working in groups, approaching your own personal goals and aspirations, your identity, how you feel about your identity in the world at large. So you feel about your identity, it's very expansive, all right? Now with your Moon and Leo in the 11th house, you feel the most expressive, the most at home, ironically, in groups of people, which is totally opposite of Moon and Leo, because Moon and Leo can totally stand on its own, all right? So with love and career, well, let's get into your Saturn. Your Saturn's in Gemini in the 10th house. So Saturn in Gemini is someone who's good with communication, possibly good with mass media. Mass media includes advertising. It includes journalism. It can include, acting, or anything that allows you to express. Writing can also be a good thing for Saturn in Gemini. In the 10th house of, career, all right? So this is really, really good placement. You also have North Node in Gemini and Mercury in Cancer. So you have a lot of Cancer energy, which means you're very, very sensitive. You have Mars in Cancer as well as Mercury in Cancer. So you're highly sensitive, which means in the workplace, you can be highly sensitive. Now, speaking of the workplace, you have your Uranus in Aquarius and your Vertex in Aquarius in the 6th house. So in the workplace, you can actually, I don't know if you have a job right now. I know you're 16, but, in the workplace, that is right, Lamarr. I just realized I took it back to the 90s. Yeah, it's cool. I still love 90s Britney, too. But Uranus and Aquarius can find you, like, having a lot of friends in the workplace, but not being totally understood. You can be very eccentric. And you can be very, like, you're someone who's always happy, in the workplace. You're someone you can easily brighten up someone else's day. So, but you work best in work dynamics in which there's like some sort of hierarchy. Okay. So this is like my work cousin. This is like my work mama, like that's kind of Mars and Cancer energy and how they operate. Now, when it comes to love, you have your Venus in Virgo, okay, in the 12th house. The 12th house is our private affairs, our secrets, our soul growth, our solitude. All right, or not the 12th house. I'm sorry. That is actually Pisces, but the 12th house is ruled by Neptune. What am I thinking? That is Pisces. I'm getting tired. It's getting late, you guys. Sorry. But with your Venus in Virgo, interestingly enough, which is the polar opposite sign of Pisces, when it comes to love relationships and sharing certain private parts of yourself, it can be a bit difficult. All right. Oh my God, this is so true. Yeah, it can be a bit difficult, when you have to, show your true self behind closed doors. And, like that can be really difficult for Venus and Earth signs in the 12th house, because the 12th house is, your private affairs, what goes on behind closed doors. What do you like behind closed doors? Are you really as happy as you say you are? What do you like when you're alone? That's 12th house and Virgo energy. Now, interestingly enough, when you're alone, you may think a lot about love and what love is like. Virgos are ruled by Mercury, so they're very, in their head kind of people. You may be a little bit over analytical as well when you're alone in love and when you're not near your partner. Like you can be someone who's a little bit dependent or codependent, and you can also overthink, which can be a recipe for not disaster, but neediness, codependency, that kind of energy. So that's, important to take note of. Now you have your 7th house here, and we can also use this to check what the 7th house is in. Now this is Pisces, so Pisces is moving into the 7th house, so which means you have 7th house in Pisces. All right, so your 7th house is in Pisces. You have Venus in Virgo, so there's part of you where with your 7th house in Pisces in your one-on-one relationships, because I also have 7th house in Pisces, ironically, boundaries is really important, all right? And You may also attract or be attracted to people who are artistic, people who are creative, also people who are very spiritual, because Pisces is Neptune, very spiritual. Not to mention Pisces is also co-ruled by Jupiter, so that's expansion. That can be someone foreign, okay? So maybe, Nathaniel, you may attract someone who's foreign or of an opposite race than you are, or you may be attracted to these kinds of people, or you may find these people attracted to you. And that's because there's something about you that kind of transcends certain boundaries, because, you know, with race and culture, and maybe we'll do a live on this, there are certain boundaries, you know, and there are certain also energies or zodiac signs that are easily able to transcend those boundaries, and Pisces is one of them. Now, let's move on really quickly to your 10th house, which is once again in Gemini. So you have 10th house in Gemini, your Saturn in Gemini, which means you're a good communicator, a good speaker, really, really good with that. And you also have Mercury in Cancer, so you're very sensitive as well. You're sensitive to people and their needs. You have 5th house in Capricorn, all right? Your 5th house is moving, or, you know, Capricorn is moving into your 5th house. And the 5th house is romance, okay? It's the romantic aspect, you know, it's the initial stages of relationships. So you're very serious, you know, when it comes to dating, you're very serious-minded. You're always thinking, you know, okay, you know, how will this work in a long-term relationship? Is this person right for me in a long-term relationship? Which is a good thing. You know, you're very serious-minded. You're very much about what can this person kind of do for me, or what can I do for this person? What does this person bring to the table with Capricorn? Because, you know, that's how Capricorns are. I'm a Capricorn sun. But with Capricorn 5th house, I find, you know, that it's important to be open. You know, it's important to, oh no, my necklace broke. That sucks. Or I think it broke. Did it really break? No, it didn't. I'm sorry. It's important to be open, to be open-minded, and to kind of go with the flow, because sometimes 5th house and Capricorn, because they're so serious-minded, can deprive themselves of having fun. And also, as a 5th house and Capricorn energy, fun can be work for you. Fun can mean being productive, Nathaniel. So really, really good energy for love, or really, really good energy for work and career. Love and romance can be a bit, you know, it may take some time, all right? Not impossible, but it will just take a little bit of time to manifest. As you get older, all right, because I feel like you're the type of person at this age, this stage of the game, where dating people of your same age, you know, they're just not as mature as you are. You're welcome, Nathaniel. Does midheaven determine your career? Yes, Tawanda, it does. You guys are really, really making me want to do astrology class, but I don't know how I want to do it. I don't know if I should do a one-on-one or if I should do like a literal class live setting. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Nathaniel. I'm glad that resonated for you. For those of you that are still here, I'm doing live readings. Yes, we're all going to manifest love. She's not the only one. Nathaniel's gonna end up trying to turn a grown woman out. Yes, Nathaniel, are you gay, straight, bisexual? What's going on with that? It did resonate with me a lot. Good. I think a live group would be good. I think so too. I just don't know how I would do that. I don't know if Skype would be good, or if I just have so many questions. And also, it's frustrating because they say Mercury in retrograde is not the best time to roll out new ideas. So I'm just like, oh, Lord, may the planets work with me. You're bi, okay. Because I got that kind of energy as well from your chart. Like, I don't think he's totally straight, but I don't want to bring out that tea right now. Also, you're really young, so, I mean, I don't really expect you to really know yourself in that way quite yet, but when some people know, they know. No matter what age you are. So thank you, Aisha, for the $9.99 donation to my super chat. You want a description of your future lover, hubby, relationship, or what do I need to change to manifest this in my life and be a positive force for him in this life? Okay, so let's answer Aisha's question. For those of you who are still here, I'm doing live astrology birth chart readings and live psychic tarot readings, so you can donate $5 to $10. That's one question. $2 is $20 is two questions. $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. And yeah, and when you purchase a birth chart reading, typically, you know, you ask a question. I want to know about love. I want to know about money, romance, whatever you want to know. I want to know about the relationship between me and my brother, my sister. You know, we can look at anything in your birth chart. So what can Aisha's spirit guides, ancestors, and protectors tell us about Aisha's husband, Aisha's future husband? And what does Aisha need to change about herself to manifest true love, to manifest a husband in this life? How can she be a better wife, future wife, or a better lover? Monique, you volunteering for the young one. Yes, Nathaniel is young. Okay, keep that in mind. Y'all know I'm protective of the children. All right. Cover your ears, Nathaniel. But it's funny because I think I'm totally going to be the cool dad when I get older. Like, so, okay, what can Aisha's spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and protectors tell us about Aisha's future husband? And what does Aisha possibly need to change about herself, all right, to manifest true love in a husband? Last shuffle. Here we have the Three of Wands here in the past position. Interesting. Oh, here we have the Queen of Cups. Okay. Sorry about that. My friend just messaged me on Facebook. Here we have the Seven of Wands here in the future position. There's something about you, Aisha, that kind of intimidates men. All right. And I feel like you kind of can sense that. But that's not something you should try to, like, don't let that be a determining factor for you dumbing yourself down in any way. All right. Yeah, I think a group class would be really, really fun. I just need to figure out, hopefully I figure it out this weekend and I can get it rolled out as soon as possible, my astrology class, because I want to do an astrology class first, because I think that would be a little bit easier because tarot is so complex, even though astrology is really complex too. But we're going to get that rolled out soon. I need to talk to Casey. I'm going to email her after I get off this live, or maybe during the live, actually. Because you know I have to do something when I say it, otherwise I'll forget. Sorry, my friend keeps messaging me. I get the Star with the Empress. So far, it's really speaking about you, Aisha. And you focusing on, one thing you can do to manifest love is to focus on the qualities you want in a man. Do you want him to be a good provider, you know, for you, for the family? Is he ambitious? I know, I wonder how Siobhan's doing too. Oh, you know where Siobhan's at? Oh, okay. Is she on a date? Ooh, child. Anyways, let's not spill Siobhan's tea. There's also something about how is he emotionally? Like, you need to focus on, make your list go, exactly. You need to focus on the qualities you want in a man. You need to make a list of the qualities you want in a man, Aisha. Oh, I know. Where's Siobhan at? Okay, okay. Yeah, you need to focus on the qualities you want in a man. Too late, Lamarr. Lamarr is so cute. Thank you, Aisha. And also, there's something about you being unapologetic about who you are, the way you live your life, your dreams and your aspirations. You know, I think that that message that Marilyn had for us really rings true for you, Aisha. And not feeling like you need the validation of a man to approve you or your life. Because there's something about you right now where you kind of attract men who feel like they need to validate you, or maybe you feel like need to validate you in some way. And it kind of turns into a power struggle. But this is because, once again, there's something about you that intimidates men. So it's about being unapologetic about that trait that you have that it intimidates men. But at the same time, Miss Siobhan and Ty in here. Well, I know where Ty is actually, but I don't know where Siobhan is. So yeah. But yeah. All right, that's what I'm seeing for you. Now, as far as the man, I get the King of Cups. This could mean he's foreign, he's exotic looking. Maybe he's of a different race than you. He could be older, all right? He could be well-cultured, all right? And he could be a businessman. He could be a business owner, all right, as well. So that's what I see for you, Aisha. He's also a man who's like happy to let you do your own thing, who's happy to see you thrive and be successful, you know, and to be happy. So Tawanda girl, Lamarr spilled the tea. What tea did I spill? Do you feel good about that, Aisha? I feel like I attract men that need affection in motherly and sexual ways. Geesh. Yeah. Do you have 7th house in Cancer, Venus in Cancer? Or 5th house in Cancer? I'm surprised y'all are still up this late, child. For those of you who will be up late, I might still be doing random lives. So if you see me do a random live, because I have some lives I need to do. And right now with my internet connection, it's way easier to do a live and upload a video than it is to actually upload a video. So yes, I should work on that list. I just rolled over. How's everybody doing? We're doing good, Casey. You missed all the fun. We read Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn spilled some tea for us. So, and we also talked about astrology in the beginning of the video. So, Casey, I'm so glad you're here. I'm actually going to email you soon about the classes and how that works. All right. Because I'm ready to move forward with that now, finally. I'm feeling like it's time. So, you're so welcome, Nathaniel. So for those of you who are still here, I'm doing live readings. I'm doing live astrology readings and live psychic tarot readings. So if you want a reading, you can donate to my super chat or my PayPal. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is 2 questions, $30 is 3 questions, so on and so forth. Yes. Born Savior says, I love your song, Black Barbie Doll. It sounds like hip house music. Thank you. I appreciate that. I wanted an old school vibe when I made that song. Like just a song you can just, you know, kind of vibe out to and rock out to. Smoke a blunt, you know, something like that. Just kidding, I didn't say that. Oh, I'll be in my class. Yes, I think I want to do astrology classes first. So I'm going to talk to KC and see what exactly, maybe, I don't know if it's best to do it through her way or a live way, or maybe if it's best to save that for a tarot class. Thinking it might be best to save the Casey for the tarot class, but I still want to email you about that now so we can kind of get the ball rolling on that. But we'll see how it comes out because Venus is in retrograde right now, and y'all know how that goes. We talked about that. But it's interesting because I also, you know, talked about Mercury in Sag because my Mercury is in Sag and Mercury is currently in retrograde in Sag. Did I say Venus retrograde? I meant to say Mercury retrograde. Mercury is currently retrograde in Sag, and I was saying how Mercury or in Sag is like right now it's important for them to focus on being a bit more realistic, basically. and not procrastinating, because, you know, Mercury and Sagittarius can be procrastinators, but with Mercury in retrograde, we can really be procrastinating at this time. So I like the beats down low and my legs tip back. Whatever you want, boo. Just brainstorm everything you want and we'll figure it out. Okay, yes. All right. I'm going to email you because I just want to know how the whole thing works. So we'll talk though, Casey. I'm going to email. I know I've been saying I'm going to email you, but now I'm really going to email you. I think tonight I'm just going to work. So it sounds like some of y'all want to listen to some music, so we can take a quick break, okay? And then, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling Michael Jackson. Who wants to hear from Michael Jackson? Who else do you guys want to hear from? We read Marilyn Monroe earlier, and we thought that was a really good reading. I enjoyed that reading. Marilyn really spilled some tea, all right? Okay, so everyone wants to read Michael. Okay. So we will read Michael Jackson, and we'll see what messages Michael has for us, okay? You guys keep in mind that I'm also doing live readings. So if you want a live reading, you can send a donation to my Super Chat or my PayPal. The PayPal is in the chat box in the description box. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. So let's get crunk in here. Yes, Aretha Franklin. You know, I've been thinking about her lately. I might want to do her. Paul Walker's a good idea. I like Paul. Paul was fine. Ooh, let me tell you, I love a fine white man. I love a fine white man. Can you do Selena? That would be good. Selena would be really, really good. We'll start with Michael, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to play some music, okay? And we're just going to have fun, all right? So let's end the night on a fun note, or the morning, I guess. By the way, you guys, Mercury goes retrograde in 15 minutes. Oh, Stan Lee. That's a good one. All right, so I'm going to play some music for you guys. And then I'll be back with some more tea, honeys.
I've got you on my radar, boy. I've got you on my radar. And my legs too. You're on my social media, boy. You're on my social media. I've got you on my radar, boy. I've got you on my radar. You're on my social media, boy. You're on my social media. I like the beats down low and my legs too. I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I'm gonna stalk you all night, but I promise that I won't bite. I've got a special appetite. Just hold still. Ooh, I see it in your eyes, on your special prize, on your crocodile. I see it in your eyes, do. Ooh, just treat me like I'm your prize. I promise I won't bite your crocodile. Just treat me like I'm your prize. I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I've got you on my radar, boy. I like the beats down low. I've got you on my radar and my legs tilt back. You're on my social media, boy. You're on my social media. I've got you on my radar, boy. I've got you on my radar. You're on my social media, boy. You're on my social media.
I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back.
I like the beats down low
And my legs tilt back.
Ooh.
I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back.
I'm gonna stalk you all night, but I promise that I won't bite. I've got a special appetite. Just hold still. Ooh, I see it in your eyes, on your special prize, on your crocodile. I see it in your eyes, do I see you? Ooh, just treat me like I'm your prize. I promise I won't buy your crocodile. Just treat me like I'm your prize.
I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back.
I like the beats down low
And my legs tilt back.
Ooh.
I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low. I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back.
I like the beats down low
And my legs tilt back.
Ooh.
I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low. I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back.
I like the beats down low
And my legs tilt back.
Ooh.
I like the beats down low and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low.
Let's go back to the way things used to be. Drinking so much we forget all the memories. July in the park, undressing the dark. These are before we start. I'm glad. Let's go back to the way things used to be. Drinking so much we forget all the memories. July in the park, undressing the dark. These are before we start. I'm gliding. When you're lonely and you want me, I'll always be there for you. When you're lonely and you want me, I'll always. When you're lonely and you want me, I'll always be there for you. When you're lonely and you want me, I'll always. Stop when you know you want me. Make you feel in your undies. Stop when you know you want me. Make you feel in your undies. Let's go back to the way things used to be. Drinking so much we forget all the memories. July July in the party, undressing the dark. Start before we start. Unlucky. Let's go back to the way things used to be. Drinking so much we forget all the memories. July in the party, undressing the dark. Stop before we start. Unlucky.
Hola, everybody who's ready for a reading on Michael Jackson. Let's see what Michael has to say. Unblock Me. That's my favorite song right now by me that I've done is Unblock Me. I'm obsessed. Like, I've been playing it all day, every day. I think I might make some new music tonight, though. I'm, like, inspired. I'm in that mood. All right, let's see what Michael has to say. So, thank you for surrounding us in your watery wall of protection, your fiery wall of protection, and your warrior shield of protection. In the name of Jesus, I pray and I thank you. Thank you for protecting all of us in this live stream with, thank you for protecting our emotions, our thoughts, our minds, our bodies, our energies, and our auras. We come in peace. In Jesus' name, I pray and thank you. Amen. What messages can Michael Jackson tell us? What messages do Michael Jackson have for us this time? What messages do Michael Jackson have for us at this time? What messages does Michael Jackson have for us at this time? What messages does Michael Jackson have for us at this time? He wants people to express themselves. He wants people to tap more into their creative side, their creative element that everyone has within them. He's saying everyone has creativity. Everyone has the ability to express themselves. Everyone has a talent. Express yourself. Don't let other people tell you what to do. Don't let other people rule your life. I enjoyed expressing myself. I enjoyed my talents. It made me happy. It brought me joy. Just like it brought other people joy. Find out what your talents are. What are your talents? Here we have the Princess of Wands here in the past position. I feel like this is Paris. Interestingly enough, is Paris into spirituality? Is Paris into magic? I feel like Paris does a lot of energy work, either with Michael, for Michael, something like that. I feel like she calls on Michael a lot. Here we have the Justice card here. I don't know if we'll see, going to see a court battle ensue soon with Michael and his music, Michael and his estate, something like that. Or is there a battle currently ensuing? Here we have the Nine of Swords here in the past position. One thing he's saying was part of his downfall. And first of all, his downfall overall in terms of his life, the way his life ended, but also his downfall, he feels, in terms of his creativity, his music, was he allowed other people's opinions to get in. He allowed other people's vision and, allowed other people's thoughts about, what he should be doing, how he should be doing it, how he should be living his life. He allowed it to creep into his psyche. He allowed it in. And the thing with that is that there's different ways this can manifest. It can manifest in the way that you start to listen to people and you start to do what they say, or you start to live your life for people. Or you can rebel against that and start to do things just for the sake of rebelling. Either spectrum is not good. You've got to find the middle ground, he says. It's okay to rebel. It's okay to listen to people, but ultimately you've got to do what's best for you. The middle ground is you. The middle ground is your intuition. Here we have the Hierophant here. There's also something about greed. There's also something about losing sight of why he did what he did. At one point, it was about, getting that #1 single. It was about being on top for Michael. But I feel like quickly it became, he realized that wasn't why God put him on this earth. God didn't put him on this earth to pursue #1 singles. God didn't put him on this earth. And every time he pursued that energy of, oh, I want a #1. Oh, I want more money. Oh, I want this kind of materialistic goal or, reward, instead of, I just want to make good music. I want to make people happy. He kind of at some point lost sight of that. All right. That was also his downfall. Never lose sight of why you're doing what you're doing, he's saying. Never lose sight of that. The Star. Interesting. The Temperance card. So he's definitely more at peace now. He's definitely more at peace. And he likes seeing new artists. He likes, I feel like he's good. On the other side, he's helping new artists find their sounds, create their sounds. He's helping artists find their voice, not only on a music level, but in terms of dance, in terms of expression overall. He's all about expression and creativity, and not allowing other people to dim that light that we all have within us. Here we have the Ace of Wands. He's saying sex changes things. Sex changes things. He's saying focus on finding a relationship that allows you to express, that allows you to express yourself without judgment, express yourself without limitations, express yourself without limitations being put on you. It's not always about sex. Sex changes things, he's saying. Get your mind out of the gutter, he's saying. Get your mind out of the gutter, It's not all about that. But he did want love in his lifetime. He always felt like love in his lifetime was always kind of out of his grasp. All right. I'm hearing him say music was my true love. Music was my love. But he's saying it's tough when the thing you love or the person you love doesn't love you back. So I feel like at some point he felt like music, the music community, something along those lines didn't love him back. And I feel like that was also his downfall. Doing it when you lose the love or when you don't have the support. What sustains you is your love for what you do, even during the bad times. Even when, he was out of the limelight, he was always making music. He was always making beats, that was something he couldn't turn off because that was just who he was. He was always creating. He was always in a creative mode. And he liked that. Like, he liked that he never let anyone dim that light within him. He said, they may have done a lot of stuff to me. They may have tried to, you know, they may have dimmed the light in my life in some way, but they never dimmed the light inside of me. The Prince of Cups. He's such a Pisces moon. Exactly. The Magician. There's something about him learning about magic. Like, I feel like at one point he became interested in magic. I feel like it was a little bit earlier on in his career, like in the late 80s. He like either became interested in magic, became more knowledgeable about magic. Something like that. But I feel like it's the Yoruba, like the African type of thing. He may have been initiated, to be honest, into some type of magic. It feels once again like African, something like a Yoruba. I keep hearing Yoruba. So does anyone know which Yoruba is the Yoruba of music? Because I feel like that's the one he worked with the most. I don't know if it's Oshun. Or is it Chango? I don't think it would be Chango. Towards the end of his life, he was experiencing some money issues. Yes, I agree, Nathaniel. I was thinking Yemaya too, Tawanda. He was having money issues towards the end of his life, though. Money issues. I feel like people tried to control him through his money. But once again, there's something about Michael where he was like, it was about the music. The music was what sustained me. They could take away the money, but they could never take away the music. And he's saying, as long as I had the music, I could always make money, you know? As long as I could always create, as long as I never basically lost that light within me, I always had the possibility to make more money, you know? So he was definitely someone who always looked out on the bright side of things, but always persevered no matter what. So that was a very insightful reading, Michael. Thank you, Michael, for coming down and allowing us to read your energy. We send you back to the light with love. I enjoyed that reading. Yeah, I think he had to go. Whenever I read Michael, he's always kind of like quick, like, okay, gotta go. I don't know if you're a lotion freak like me, but it's a balance of lotion, hydration, to counteract some of the... Oh, yeah, I love lotion. Oh, okay. Yeah, I love lotion. Right now I'm really heavy into, ironically, Pond's Cold Cream as a moisturizer for my face. Thank you, Bianca, for the $9.99 donation. Bianca, please send your question. Bianca, please ask your question. I see that you just messaged me on Instagram, so I guess you can Instagram me or send your question on here on Super Chat. For those of you who are still here, I am still doing live readings. I don't know how long I've been on live, but you know, I'm still doing live readings. So if you want a live reading, you can donate to my PayPal or my Super Chat. I prefer PayPal. The link is in the description box, in the chat box. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question. $20 is two questions. Oops. $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. So I don't want my coffee to spill. Yeah, white boys do get ashy. Speaking of white boy, there's this white boy. Why am I saying? I don't like saying white boy. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about the term white boy, Nick? I've always wondered how white guys actually feel about that. But I'm actually talking to this white guy on Snapchat of all places right now. He's really cute, but he lives in Florida. I'm not gonna spill too much of my tea. But apparently we know each other from way back and we just reconnected. But Bianca, where are you? I guess I'll just message you on Instagram and ask you. Or maybe you sent it. Okay, you sent it on actually PayPal, which I always forget that you guys can do that. By the way, the great thing about PayPal is that you can send your question in the payment. Therefore, no one will know your question if you're more of a private person. Now, Bianca, do you mind if I read your question out loud, or do you prefer privacy at this time? Lamarr is booed out. Child, I'm trying to be booed up. Yeah, I don't like the term white boys. I don't either. It's so juvenile to me. Letting the cat out. Yes, I know. Y'all know I'm chatty. Okay, Bianca sent me an email. I don't like the term black boys either. I don't either. I don't care, Lamarr. I grew up in the hood and been called the cool white cat since 2nd grade too. Yes. Do share. Ooh. No need to segregate society into colors such as black and white. Well, he's a white boy with flavor. That's what I'll say. And I really, really like white guys with flavor. Caucasian men with flavor. And when I say flavor, I mean either they're well cultured, they're mixed, or they just have a little bit of swag about them, you know? Okay, child, it's cuffing season. Yes, Casey, that's what I'm talking about. Colors are a beautiful thing. I agree. I love all colors of people, all colors of men. Wintertime, you cuffing everything. Yes, Monique, exactly. So let's answer Bianca's question. Now, I don't know if Bianca wants me to read her question out loud, so I'm just going to say it in my head. All right? Just for her privacy. They are a beautiful thing, Nathaniel. I agree. Men of all races, colors, and creeds are a beautiful, beautiful thing. Here we have the star in the past, Bianca. The 5 of Wands in the present position, which can, speak of conflict, not seeing eye to eye, not being on the same page, possibly. Let's see what other cards we have. 8 of Wands. So there's something about the past here where either there's a fear of the past repeating itself, there's a fear of the past coming back up, something like that, a past theme in the relationship. Here we have the 8 of Swords. Okay. So in terms of his feelings, he's a bit unsure. Definitely could denote a sexual connection, a good sexual connection. This can also mean a manifestation of energy. Maybe you guys have been on each other's so minds that you guys pulled each other back to one another. Princess of Cups here. I love some dark chocolate, not gonna lie. Yes, Nick, work. I definitely see you want, I feel like you want it's maybe a bit more than he does. Because I feel like you have good memories attached to the past, to the relationship. But there's something about him right now where he wants to be alone. He'd rather be alone, he'd rather be single at this time. But there is also something about where he can't deny that, he's still attracted to you. He still wants you in his life in some way. But in terms of, there being more at this time, I feel like maybe you're not on the same page with that. Yeah, straight cash, keeping it real. Yes, Nick. So I feel like, how do I word this? He playing games like my ugly ass ex. Yeah. Does he feel the same way as you do? Based on the feeling that I feel like you want something more serious again, you want a more stable relationship, and I don't think that's what he's looking for at this time. I'm gonna have to say no. But I will not deny that, he wants you in his life in some way. All right. Maybe just not the way that you want him in your life at this time. So I hope that made sense, Bianca. And I will send you a message just to make sure you got it. Okay. Don't they all? Childs. Y'all heard Marilyn talk about men. Men are not always the strong knights that we see them as. Sometimes they're weak little boys, No shade to the men out there. No shade to me. But it's the truth, right? You're welcome, Bianca. Oh, you are here. Okay, good. I am so pale with pink undertones. But colors is the easiest way to identify people when you don't know their names, so true. I don't know, I've never really been someone who's been like, I don't know, color's never really been a thing for me, to be honest. I don't know why. I feel like brown-skinned black people or like lighter brown-skinned black people, whatever the fuck you want to call it, sorry for cussing, like we're kind of in the middle. We're not like too dark, we're not too light, so it's like we're just here. I always be like, hey, you like white boys? Yeah, Nick, I can see you saying that actually. By the way, did anyone notice Nick changed his profile picture? So proud of him. I'm gonna give him a hand clap for that. So next we need him to get a social media page and all that. Truth. True. Yes. Do any other brown-skinned or lighter brown-skinned black people in here resonate with that? Because we're technically not light skinned. I don't know. Some people consider light skin different than I don't know. It's also weird to me. Ooh, child. But by the way, I am doing live readings still. So if you guys want a live reading, you can donate to my super chat or my PayPal. The PayPal link is in the chat box. It's also in the description box. And if you want a reading, anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. So Nick says I'm light as fuck, but my Indian blood makes me tan as fuck. 1 week into summer, I look straight in the Navajo. I feel you. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, yeah. It's just so weird. I don't know. It's not weird, I guess. Yeah, brown skin is pretty much the standard complexion for us. We're not usually in those brights. Yeah, like I don't get the light skin, dark skin thing. Because I'm in the middle, you know? I always feel left out. I'm like, I don't understand this. But it is what it is, Very, very interessante. Very, very interessante. Without the little tan I have, I'd be Casper the Ghost see-through. I'm in the middle too. Yeah, Christine. Like, it's like, I don't know. We're passable. We're the passable color. Which is weird. I don't understand. I don't understand it. But it is what it is. I love my skin that I'm in. Venus is direct. Jupiter is direct in Sag. Venus is direct in Libra. I'm loving it. I'm just not loving this Mercury in retrograde in Sag energy. What does it mean if you have Venus in Aquarius? Venus in Aquarius is well, what do you want to know? I mean, Venus in Aquarius, it can be tough to have Venus in Aquarius because, Aquariuses work best in group settings and have a little bit of difficulty in one-on-one relationships. So, it can be a little bit of a tough placement. Venus in Aquarius likes their fun. They like change. They don't like stagnancy in relationships. And there's always that kind of plateau. So that plateau can really be a bit of a struggle for Venus in Aquarius. Maybe the next live stream I do is going to be Venus in Aquarius or Venus through the signs. I got love for them all. Dark skin, light skin, caramel, my coffee blacks. Yes, Nick. Society is effed up. I agree, Monique. I agree. I find dark skin beautiful. I find light skin beautiful. I find brown skin beautiful. Skin is beautiful. Love the skin you're in, people. All right. Who loved the messages that Marilyn Monroe and Michael Jackson had for us tonight in this live stream? Like, I think these have been my favorite celebrity readings so far that I've done is on Miss Marilyn Monroe and Michael tonight. Good night, Christine. Tawanda, the only time we have issues is when people don't realize each complexion has different shades. Yes, exactly. Because there's like different hues, like I think I have like peachy hues, or peachy tones to my skin. So yeah, you're right. Like it's a really complex. I love all shades of blackness. It don't matter to me. Exactly. I just love a fine man, honey. Men are not worth it. They sure aren't. Express your talent. Yes, Nathaniel. I love that Nathaniel is getting these messages at 16. We are about to have Nathaniel grow up to be such a fine young man. I love it. Good night, Lottie. Loved Marilyn's message. Me too. That was a really, really good reading. I think I need to do a part 2 on Marilyn soon because I read her once last year or 2 years ago, and I need to do a part 2. That was a good reading. But everyone is signing off, so I think I'm going to sign off too. Nathaniel, damn, not worth it. Child. Maybe men aren't. It's not that men aren't worth it, but it's that we're worth more. All right? How about that? We're worth more. And maybe men aren't worth as much as we think they are. Maybe we don't need men as much as we think we do. The thing are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Exactly. Venus through the signs would be great. Yes. That'll work. Could we get a Paul Walker reading? Yes, Nick, in the next live stream. I might do another live stream later because I have a couple I want to do, but they're like short ones. If I'm being honest, I'm not worth it either. Don't say that, Nathaniel. You're worth it. Hi, Striker Hero. Hey, y'all need men. I'm a man. The fuck? I mean, yeah, Nick, some of us need men, all right? Some of us, a man would just be nice, you know? We need men like, to have babies. Women need men to have babies, but some women don't need men to have babies. But yeah, you're right, Nick. We need men. We need the penis. Monique says we need the penis. Child, I'm gonna have to agree with that for sure. We definitely need that. Nathaniel, yes, you are. Just make sure you're your greatest version. Exactly. That's all we want for you, Nathaniel, for you to be your greatest version of yourself. Monique said we need the penis. I agree about that, Monique. That we need. That we definitely need. All right, you guys. I love you guys. Monique a freak. I love it. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me on this live. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing it for you. If you would like your own personal reading, I did have one person buy a reading, so thank you. You're going to get your reading soon. Okay, if you want a personal reading, please check out my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. I am available. All right, you only have one person ahead of you. So get your reading soon before I get booked up. Okay, thank you all who purchased a live reading. And I'll catch you guys in the next live stream. I had so much fun. Okay, and I'll catch you guys in the next one where we will spill more tea and have more fun. Love you guys. Love you, Nathaniel. Take care, Nick. Bye, Bree. Bye, Monique. Bye, Tawanda. You guys have a great night, and I'll catch you in the next one, okay?